I was a 5 out of 100. I'm like at a 65 right now, and this will help. And I have pizza coming.
That's that's quite the recovery.
Nothing
Well, what do you
settles
eat?
an upset stomach like pizza.
What do you eat when you're like?
Crackers and soup.
Yeah, and 7-Up.
Oh, is that
I don't
what I
even
Yeah.
know if it's Sprite. Yeah.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale. You eat that ginger ale.
I love ginger ale. Well, yeah, you don't have ginger ale in St. Louis, so you have to go to Sprite.
But not Chinese, not Chinese food.
No. Why don't you get some jalapeno poppers? That'll help your upset stomach.
Yeah,
Are you
right.
nuts?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FTS podcast, Friends Talking Shop. I'm your host, Dave. I am dialing in from my remote location in Wisconsin, kind of my bunker, if you will. Every once in a while, I like to come over to Wisconsin and hide out my bunker. We are on episode, what are we on now?
19.
It is. We are getting close to the 20s.
We are now in the legal age territory.
That's true for podcasts. That's
Our
that's what you
podcast
thought
can now buy cigarettes.
Yes. And buy a gun.
Yes.
Oh my. Well, let's greet our host here so we can kick things off. I saw other host as always is Josh. Josh, how are you doing this weekend?
You know, I'm doing well, but you know, like everyone else, I'm upset with the big news. You guys heard the big news last Sunday, right? Everyone's upset about the stamp increase.
Postage stamps?
Yeah, they're raising stamps from 58 cents to 60.
Stamps right now are 58 cents?
No, they're now 60. They're now 60. It just happened last Sunday. And of course, everyone is phony outrage on it. That's what I like to call it, phony outrage. It's utterly ridiculous because who gives a shit that stamps went up 2 cents? And I'm going to tell you this too, by the way, maybe the best deal in the world.
Yeah.
Can you find anyone on the planet to deliver a handwritten note from New York to California for 60 cents? I don't think anyone's going to do that.
The U.S.
right?
Postal Service is a miracle, and it's still somehow operating.
What a deal.
They're losing money, aren't they?
I thought if you asked me how much a stamp was, I swear I would have said 28 cents. I have no idea how much stamps cost.
28 cents.
I would have thought in the
What would you
30s.
said?
I would have thought 30s and 40 cents. Maybe.
To be honest with you, I didn't know either until I saw the news article that it went up 2 cents and people were losing their shit over it.
Who are these people, by the way? Are they the same people who should have showed up at the Johnny Depp trial?
It's probably the same people because it's phony It's phony outrage. People like to be upset over everything, and even if it's something that's so inconsequential, and no one uses. I don't mail anything anymore anyway.
Yeah, what, 3 stamps a month, maybe?
I don't even.
Do your kids?
Do my kids?
Yeah. Do they have like pen pals or whatever?
Pen pals? What year is this?
Is that still?
Yes.
Still
Both my kids write to people on death row.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
No,
Well, let
they
me
don't
ask you this:
have pen pals.
Do your kids know how to like handwrite, like use like cursive and stuff?
Yeah, they still teach that.
They still teach that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say though, spelling, like my kids, I think are really smart with math and science and memorization, all that's problem solving. But spelling is a challenge for some of them because they haven't had to practice it. It's all spell check,
that's right. Yeah.
So I was surprised. I never thought to practice with them. I guess when they're younger, they had spelling and tests and so they did fine. But I noticed later on that spelling is not a strong suit for any of my kids because it is a useless skill to have at this point.
Yeah, basically. So is penmanship, quite honestly. When do you ever write cursive other than your name? That's really all you should learn. There's no reason to write cursive other than that.
When's the last time you wrote a capital Q in cursive?
Q is not in my name, so I don't need to know it. That's how I view it.
That's true. Well, let me finish introducing here. Our third host, Omar. Get this out of the way. Omar, how are you doing today?
You know what I did, which I think I'm going to do this more often, is I'm going to hide my self view on the camera. Do you guys have your self view on?
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just much preferred. But yeah, David was alluding to the fact that I ate last night. I had some rolls,
Sushi rolls, right?
Sushi
Not
rolls,
just
yeah.
You say rolls, that could mean like you're eating, hoagie rolls.
In Wisconsin, we would never think sushi if you said rolls.
Rolls, exactly.
What would you have thought of in Wisconsin?
Bread.
Oh,
something
bread
you
rolls.
eat with your roast beef and mashed potatoes.
So, and this morning, as on a Sunday, like as any other single person does, I'm going to be active. I want to be very busy today and do things. So I'm doing things and I'm working out and I'm walking miles, and then I go to Best Buy and I buy a few things there, which are probably things I don't really need. And then I come back and I'm like, and I realize I haven't eaten anything, breakfast or anything. And I'm like, I should eat something. So I opened the fridge and there were these hand rolls there, sushi rolls that were like salmon and avocado. And I'm like, these are strong. And I had one. It was good. So
they were from last night? They're from yesterday?
Last night, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, long story short is 6 hours later, here I am. So I was pretty much out of commission and I thought I'd have to, well, I didn't want to call in sick, but, I'm happy I made it. So I'm happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah. And you ordered a pizza to get over it, right? Is that what you told us? You ordered a pizza to get over it?
I ordered pizza, I never know what to order after you're sick. From like,
yeah, it ain't pizza.
Well, on Uber Eats, they don't have they should have an option for that.
You're a 50-year-old man.
I know.
You should know what you should be eating when you're sick and your tummy hurts.
I know.
It's not pepperoni pizza.
What's that word for it? Isn't there for little rice? That's not. It's not rice.
Soup?
No. There's a 4-letter acronym that describes what you're.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Apple is one of it. Bread. No, not bread.
It's apples, soup, saltines, ass. That's the acronym. When you're sick, you should eat ass.
No, it's not that. I'll remember at some point.
I don't think that's going to catch up.
Is that's not it? Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
What's the rule for sushi? Can you keep it for a day like that? Is that?
You would think I would know it, but apparently I don't.
I would think you could. Isn't the sushi that you get in like the supermarket? It's not good sushi, but is that made every day? Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm probably sure they sell it. Yeah, the day they sell it. But if you get it and put it in your fridge and eat it the next day, I don't think you'd have to eat it the same day you buy it in the grocery store, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, clearly with.
You know what it is actually, as with everything else in life, nothing is certain. It's all about probabilities. So the probability increases a little bit the second day.
Yeah.
And
that's probably fair.
And those
and
are
it got you.
It got you. Well, the good news is what is that? Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. I think that's
what?
Yeah,
which is a terrible, actually.
That's the worst line ever.
Yes.
Worst line ever.
We need to. I have heard people say that. That's a terrible thing to
It is.
live
It
by.
is a terrible thing to say, but it makes me a little bit of comfort when I say it. But you're right. It's terrible.
So diarrhea for you is bittersweet. Is that what you're telling us?
I try and find beauty in everything.
There you go.
Wow. That's going the extra mile.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
All right. Well, on this podcast, as you should know by now, the three of us come up with 3 different topics, things we have not practiced or talked about ahead of time. We just sort of surprise each other with it, and we discuss it for a few minutes, and we rotate around and have a good time. So I hope you do as well. And as always, too, we have an email address if you want to email us. We got an email this week.
We did.
An email. So when we get to mailbag, we can talk about that. Our email address is friends@fts.media. No .com. It's just .media. I'll never get over it.
Yesterday's news. That's yesterday. Right. It's cool. .media is cool now. All the kids are doing .media. Now Omar is running. Now I don't know if this is a vomiting diarrhea situation, but he took off like a lightning. Oh, he got his pizza.
He got his pizza.
Yeah. All right. So that's unfortunate. I was hoping for the other.
I've never listened to a podcast where someone was ill, ate pizza, got sick, all on the podcast.
It's bizarre. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. You are a pioneer in podcasting, Omar.
Yeah.
And
it's very good.
Well, excellent. Are you going to eat while we do the podcast? That's also not typical.
Yeah. No, listen, as you guys know, you guys typically talk a lot more than me. So me eating a pizza will have no impact.
I actually don't think that's true. I listened to the last one, and you guys talked, I would say, at least 2/3 of the time.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
By the way, to update on your question, if you add 1 + 2 + 3 all to 100.
Oh, yes.
We got a good answer for that. Actually, we did get a different email, although it's from using the wrong email address.
Wrong email.
That if you approach the problem, if this ever comes up, this is now for our listeners to look smart. If this ever comes up, go, let me think about that. Well, if I take 100 and then I pair 99 and 1 and 98 with 2, and I do that a bunch of times, I get 10 50s. Oh, but there's 50 in the middle, which isn't paired with anything. So how about 5,050?
Yeah, brilliant.
There's your answer, right?
Yeah, it's a great answer.
I think someone who has a
PhD.
I don't know a PhD, but it's a complicated degree in mathematics that sent us that. So congratulations to you for solving that. And I hope now I get that as an interview question, because I'm going to play that up exactly. Oh,
it's a good one.
Omar.
Now Omar just took off again. He first of all, for our listeners, he gobbled down that slice at like warp speed. So I don't know if that went through him or if he's got another order at the door of something horribly inappropriate for when you have food poisoning, like pizza.
Yeah, he can't be bothered with things like podcasts. Sitting down for an hour, that's asking a lot.
It's too much.
It's
ADHD.
What you guys don't realize, I told you I was in bed for a long. I've basically just gotten out of the hospital.
No, that's a little extreme.
I'm here.
But you gobbled down. I've never seen anyone with food poisoning gobble down a slice of pizza shortly after having food poisoning as fast as you just did. I've never seen that. I've had food poisoning before. It's awful. It's an awful experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch food for fear of having another episode. And you just took it down like you were
By the way,
a homeless man who.
David, do you think that you have a good ear for what makes good content, good podcast content, since you are the most experienced?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I listen to my fair share of podcasts. Are you asking whether?
I say this because I got a text. I believe that it was actually even yesterday, and it was about one of our podcasts. Specifically, it was about the podcast with Josh and his colonoscopy, and my friend was saying how much they were enjoying it, and it made me have a flashback, and I said several times to you during the podcast to like cut it off, but I guess it was good that you let it run on, which was, by the way, a good parallel into Josh's story.
That's right. Well, that's our topic. We just changed the title. We'll watch our numbers. Anything that has to do with your digestive system, our numbers spike.
If our numbers start to go down, I'll just have some sort of bowel episode.
Yeah. Well, the good news with you, Josh, it happens frequently, right?
Yeah, that is the good news. In fact, so it wouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't have to go off schedule, so to speak.
That's right. Just give it a minute.
All right. Where's the going?
All right. So let's kick off the episode. Did I cover everything?
I think you did.
I think we did. Yeah. All right. So Omar, in case you get sick, I thought we could have you go first. Are you ready to go first?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about another topic, but then maybe I'll go with that one. So
yeah, during the recording is not the time to workshop.
Well, fair enough. But so I was going to talk about how I deleted Instagram today. And whether or not you guys use Instagram or not.
Is that what you'd like to talk about?
I think we can talk about that.
Okay, so give us some more color on that.
So I don't even know Erickson. Dave. Well, I don't know.
Again, full name. Just put it right on the podcast.
It's too late now. You've been outed.
But I did it European style, like last.
Yeah, you might as well recite his social security number now.
Okay. Goodness. Well, that can be edited out. So sorry. But I think both of you guys have social media. I'm not even sure if you do on Instagram at least. And if you do, either I don't follow you or you don't post anything.
Don't post.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm on it, and I don't really have that many people I follow. Honestly, it's probably over half of the people I follow are meme accounts. So just like comedy stuff, you know what I mean? Or like,
Yep.
or like NBA or NFL clips or whatever.
Yep.
So I'm trying today. I've tried the Quip before, and I'm always back on it. I quit for a week or two before, but it's been a long time. And I'm like, what am I getting out of this when I'm on it? I'm like, I'm seeing some of my friends who actually I do want to see, but the most of them I see, I get FOMO or jealousy, right? And then I get meme accounts, and then I get some really awesome targeted ads. And I think that was keeping me on, the ads. So
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense, right? So I'm like,
so the ads were keeping you on. Are you being tongue in cheek here? Or
Well, remember the all day everyday pants? Wasn't all day everyday pants that we all ordered?
Yeah, public
that from Instagram or Facebook or something. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the complete opposite side of probably everyone on the planet. I like targeted ads.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, why not?
You just said you didn't. You just said that was sarcastic.
I'm saying that it was the best thing are the meme accounts on Instagram. Targeted ads are a close second, actually.
I don't know what everyone's complaining about. I love how everyone's like, oh, this is creepy. They know what I want. I'm like, yeah, that's good.
I would like to see what when you guys pull up your social media, what the first 5 targeted ads were. That'd be interesting, right? It would tell us something about each of us for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that interesting if I'm thinking through, but I'm trying to think of like, oh, sure enough, a Packer, Green Bay Packer.
No, but it's based on your conversations too, because they can hear you. So if you talk about your deal a lot, yeah, 1,000%, 1,000%.
No, my targeted ads are always what I've been browsing for. Like I'm getting a lot of pants right now because I looked at pants lately. If you
talk about a trip to like the Caribbean or a ski trip or something,
but most likely you're also doing Expedia or American Airlines or Verbo or something that's related.
I'm telling you, it's factually, it's you just don't know about it, but it does happen.
I think this is up for debate. Josh, we had a call with somebody who was on the technology side of things and made a comment that, people talk about that your phones are listening to you. And they said, that's not true. People think that because just what you're saying, what you talk about, you somehow, like the AI is so good that it knows based on what you're typing, that even if you don't say Caribbean, all the other things that you're typing,
that's right,
it's somehow can figure it out. But I don't, people in the know or people on that side of the business, maybe they don't want to tell me. So I don't
that's true.
I don't know, because it certainly feels that way. If I remember, you ever see the tonal?
The gym, the home gym.
The gym, online gym, the thing that you hang on the wall. I feel like, we talked about that somewhere and someone else talked about it and they said they got an ad and they said they never typed it, nothing, that they just, and it popped up. And I thought maybe, I don't know.
That's a tough one. I'm not sure. I think maybe you don't think you did, but anyone who's looking into Caribbean vacation doesn't just talk about it. They also Google, hey, where should I go in the Caribbean, or vacations, or they just don't remember doing something because it's just so secondhand that you're doing that all the time about things you're thinking about. You just Google them to look them up or to get more information on everything.
Do you think the second, third derivative of things you're typing, you never typed in Caribbean, but if the AI figures out that that's what you're doing based on all the secondary or tertiary things that I don't know. I mean, it's got to be smarter than the rest of us, right? So that's why it works. But.
That's true. I was during my colonoscopy, I got a ton of ads for Depends.
We're back there.
And you never even said Depends. Yeah,
and I never said
it. So it got me thinking, obviously, and listen, people talking about social media addiction is not a new topic. Certainly, I'm sure there's a ton of other content about it. But I'm going to quit, and I think I'm not going to use it for a while. The part that has really got me off of it is the idea of someone being able to control me and get me addicted to something. This really annoys me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Were you spending too much time on it? Is that one reason why you got off of it? Or do you just fear like someone's looking at what I'm looking at or knowing what I'm doing, so therefore I don't like this, it's creepy, I'm going to just get off of it? What was the impetus for you deleting Instagram?
I don't think I use Instagram that much. I think I probably use it like half an hour a day.
That's not much.
Maybe 45 minutes a day or something.
Yeah,
maybe,
okay.
Posting and scrolling.
No, I don't really post. I don't.
You don't post. So just
I haven't been
Yeah.
posting. Posting's also I'm conflicted about because I feel like it's bragging and it's too much signaling and
That's what it is. No one posts.
I don't really care.
Yeah, no one's posting I had an earache today, and here's the wax I took out. Everyone's posting all the great stuff that they're doing.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I think for those reasons, so it got me thinking about like who am I really close to, and then it got me thinking about really this podcast, right?
Wow.
And then it got me thinking about how I feel like I'm less close to both of you guys since we started the podcast.
Less close since we started it?
Yeah. And Josh, this happened yesterday when we Josh and I, for our listeners, Josh and I've known Josh for at least 12 plus years. And when we first met in person, there was a lot of, pizzazz and chemistry. We're both naturally
pizzazz.
There was definitely pizzazz. We talked
what
about
do we use?
dad.
Jazz hands?
A lot of uncomfortable looks across the room. Is that?
Don't you remember? Like your dad was there talking about motorcycles.
Yes, that's what. That's right.
It was So at any rate, and then we had a phone chat, and then I'm like, okay, we're obviously on the level now where I can reach out to him on weekends, and I would call him a few times, and he wasn't responsive ever, and I would text him, and he was, but not really timely, like far enough away where it made it clear he didn't want to really talk to me on a weekend, but close enough where it didn't get weird, which by the way is a really interesting skill set to have, Josh.
Thank you.
So
it's a balancing act.
It's a balancing act. So this is 12 years into it. And then yesterday was our first weekend conversation. And of course, it was not about like when he's going to come visit me or blah, blah, blah. It was about this fucking podcast. And which I was very excited to talk to him about too. And we're talking about it, and we talk about a few things. I'm very excited. And a lot of it's just stuff behind Dave's back, which is also really fun to do.
Yeah, we talk about Dave, how we can make him better.
Please. And then send me your conclusions.
We're still working on that draft. But so we're talking, and then we start getting a little bit into some stuff that's kind of tangential, if you will, to the podcast. And I say it out loud. I go, Josh, you want to know what? I don't want to. Let's just talk tomorrow, because this happens. Because of the podcast, we feel like we can't talk to each other until we're on the podcast, which is an interesting dynamic. If I had a choice, one over the other, I actually kind of like this because I see you guys more often. Well, I see you guys more often. Like we all see each other more often.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. I mean, I think the audience, what they don't maybe know, and most probably don't care, was that when I would speak to Josh and Dave independently, we would be talking about some ridiculous topic and both laughing. And I'm like, we should do something, and we should.
Yeah, that's how this originated.
Anyway, here we are. So.
But okay, so let me clear the air a little bit.
Yeah.
One, I hate the phone. Okay, so that's number one. So it's not you. I don't like the phone. I don't like talking on the phone. You're
very good at it.
For work, I talk on the phone all the time.
Well, when you say work, or phone, do you mean Zoom as well, or
yeah, Zoom? I'm counting Zoom as because Zoom is now phone.
Okay.
Zoom is now phone. But if my phone rings, it's funny. I can't remember the comedian that did the bit on this. Do you remember this, Dave?
Yeah,
you know where I'm going with this?
Is it Goldman? Yeah.
Or it might have been Gary Goldman.
Yeah.
He's like, your phone, we should stop calling it a phone because that's the app that you use least on your phone is the phone app. And that's the way it is for me. My phone rings and I'm like, what the hell is this? Who the hell's calling me? You can text me. Texting's so much easier and it's quick and it's, because it's like, I'm not a guy who, okay, so here's the difference. You're a guy who says, you know what? I haven't talked to Josh. I'm going to give him a call and just see how he's doing. So you call for no reason whatsoever. I don't ever call for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
If
fair.
I call anybody, there's a purpose for the call. And once the purpose is fulfilled, I'm done with the conversation. And that's just my, and I don't want to, I'm not a talking guy. And as far as the texting goes,
David,
sometimes I'm a talking guy, but not on the phone. I don't like to just talk on the phone. If I'm with you in person at a restaurant or whatever, we'll talk about whatever. And obviously it goes beyond purpose. That's different though.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Dave,
that's 100% me too.
You.
If I love talking to people, in fact, one-on-one is my favorite, just, a handful of people. If it's a full room of people and bouncing around to conversation, that's less interesting to me. I like sitting down with one person, having a conversation, finding out what's going on, but not on the phone. As soon as the phone rings and I'm on it, I sort of want to get off the phone. But there's always a difference. So don't feel that that's what I'm thinking when I'm talking to you guys. But I don't know if it's just because it's part of the requirement of my job. Is a lot of that.
Interesting. So do you feel that Zoom might be different because at least that way you know the person's not doing something else while they're talking to you, or is it both? Doesn't matter.
No. In fact, Zoom, like, I don't get personal Zooms. Do you get personal Zooms?
I do that. Actually, I do it with some of my friends, but it's the only way to get us both on calendar.
Yeah. See, no. So that's very different. Yeah. That's a whole different story. If that would be worse, I think. I would if a call was just, hey, how you doing? I'd almost rather it be the old-fashioned way on the phone, because then I can kind of get out of it, or at least think to get out of it. If I'm on a Zoom, it looks like I have to be dialed in the whole time, like, attentive and alert and interested in the call.
I have to say, you've really got me thinking about this Gary Gulman joke, like whatever his name is. Like, I don't want to call my phone a phone anymore. You're right. What should we call it?
Why are we calling it a phone? That's a
what's computer?
If you finish to finish the joke, he said it's like calling a car a cup holder. He's like, it is a cup holder, but it does so much more.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
That is funny.
But the Instagram, Facebook question, I think, is a really good one, because now I want to preface my comments of I hate people.
Further, how long do you think I'll last off Instagram? What's your
2 days?
You think 2 days?
Yeah.
I think you could go longer, but yeah, you're a social guy. I think you like to be on it. I think the FOMO you have of looking at Instagram.
It's Instagram social. That's the thing. I don't think social. It's other people's social, I guess, if you're not. Yeah. Anyway,
it's not social. Social means you're interacting. That's how I define social. So it's not really. None of those things are really social. Texting is more social than Instagram is.
But it feeds the social, right?
Yeah, it's social media. I guess that's where that social word comes in, is the social media bucket that it gets put into. But Instagram. So I like Instagram, and it's probably the only social media app that I really use. I hate Facebook. I despise it with a passion. We've already been down that path. I don't use TikTok. I feel like
What do you use Instagram for? Like, what do you look at it?
I'm a voyeur. That's it. I never post. I don't post anything. I don't post anything on any of them. And Twitter, I'm barely on, if ever. Not really.
I know his one post he made. David, do you know what his post is?
No, I used to make a few. I had a few posts when I first started it. When I first got on it, I'm like, okay, this is what people do.
Yeah, your hotel experience in St. Louis.
Yes, that's all I posted, because I stayed for the listeners. I stayed every time I went to St. Louis for work. Dave would put me up in this luxurious hotel across the street from our office, which was the colossal piece of shit. And I used to document all the awful things I would run into at the hotel, and I used Instagram to do that. But I only posted like 5 times, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like posting. But I do like viewing, and I love, because I follow comedians, and a lot of them post really funny stuff. So I like to see that every day or so. And then I follow local athletes, because it's just neat to do. And then I like, as to admit this, I follow some reality people of shows I watch, because I don't know. I like to see what trash life they're having.
Do you follow any of your friends?
Yes, I do.
Kids
and friends.
Parents.
And friends.
So are there any people you follow out of necessity rather than of?
No. What do you mean necessity? There's no necessity to follow anybody.
Yes, of course there is.
No, there's not.
If there's a friend who's who follows you, and you then
but
you
I don't post
follow
anything.
Them.
But who cares? I don't know. I don't
David,
even think about that.
That is a thing. I've had people.
It might be. But
I've had people get upset with me. I lost a friendship over that once.
Wow, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I'm not even kidding.
Can I tell you something, Omar?
Yeah.
I don't ever hit like. I don't ever comment. I don't ever do anything.
But people have.
I just look.
They track who's added or subtracted. There are all these.
Are they upset with me because I don't like anything? I don't put like. I don't touch the heart or the thumbs up. I never do it. Never.
They would be upset.
Well, so be it, but I don't do that.
But if I ever get back on Instagram, which will probably be in 24 hours, I will.
Dave, do you do that? I'm curious about you. Do you? I mean,
when Facebook came out, I had an account, and my wife did, and then all the family members. I have an account. And then you connected with people from high school that you hadn't talked to.
Yes.
So there was that instant rush of reconnecting with people, right? And then, you get friend requests from people who, must be doing a recommended for you list, because it's like, I don't know this person well. And I'm going to post like vacation photos or personal stuff. It feels awkward to have someone else on there that I don't really know. So then I thought, am I going to just deny it, or do I just not answer it? So I do have a list on Facebook of people who have like requested friends, and I haven't accepted. So it's kind of forced me to like not be active on it. Now, what I did do then is I create a second account, and it has a picture of a Green Bay Packer on it. And so it's not my face, but then I was going to have an account that was just me, my folks, my sister. Like, it was going to have a very limited amount. And like, that was the one where I'd post my stuff. I'd use the other one to kind of keep in touch with people. And I haven't done either, just because and it's probably why I don't do Instagram at all. I don't even have an Instagram account. And I don't, even if I have the app. So if I wanted to, like, who does that person like, Instagram is an option to see what they look like. But my opinion is that Instagram is a socially acceptable form of bullying. It's, Omar, you touched on it, that the fear of missing out. Like, we have friends who do amazing things, amazing trips. Yes. And so if you scroll through there and see, someone's in Europe again, someone is in Hawaii, someone, I feel it just does something enough to me that I feel like I don't love seeing their pictures enough. In fact, I guess I don't really care, but I do feel bad if I'm not having a good day. So I have Instagram.
So it affects you. It doesn't affect me at all.
Everybody. I think it's not every time, but there might be someone like, oh, that's interesting.
Josh, you are in the minority, my friend.
I might be. I very well could be. But look, I have a Facebook account. So I rail on Facebook, but I do have a Facebook account. But I'm rarely ever on it, barely, and really only because of my kids' school. They post about a lot of informative things, so that's the only reason. But the reason you get Facebook, at least I did initially, was to see people you hadn't seen forever, and see from your high school who got fat and who's who's divorced or who's that's what you want to see. Like, who looks like shit. That's what I want to see. I want to see, boy, that person really let themselves go. That's awesome. That's gone. I mean, I've already seen that. Now there's not much help from Facebook, but it doesn't affect me at all. Now I do see it. I will say this. I do see it with my kids, that there is an effect from the social media that I think is very negative sometimes, and I don't like it.
Right?
No question. But
it doesn't affect
news. Yeah, it's not news.
It doesn't affect me in the least bit. I know what you're talking about, Dave. I've seen our mutual friends, and they're out like in some exotic location again, but I'm like, okay, good for them, great, and I just roll, and I just turn it off and go somewhere else. That's it. I don't know.
How much time are you on Instagram a day, Josh?
Not much.
You, Dave?
Not much. I can see my screen time.
Yeah.
What I use is Twitter. So I Twitter is where I follow a bunch of sport reporters. Some people who watch baseball, the baseball team that I watch, the Milwaukee Brewers. There's someone will put down like 6th inning, the Brewers can't get the run across the plate again. So I can kind of keep track of what's going on. It's mostly for sports. Someone gets traded or some big news happens. Usually will be Twitter where I find that stuff out. So that becomes a news feed. And every once in a while, I'll check out Reddit with some subreddits that I'll follow that I think are interesting. That's my social media. It's targeted. It's really meant to sort of feed a sports interest and sort of common interest. But I guess I'll find out what my friends are doing verbally, but not through pictures.
There have been a number of articles about some derivative of in the age of the internet and social media and hyperconnectivity, are we less connected than ever to each other, right? And it's so but I will say that, like, it's interesting for me. Phone calls are incredibly empowering, and emotionally I get a lot out of that. That's why I'm comfortable living on an island in the middle of the Caribbean by myself, because I'm on the phone all day with my friends. I get something out of that for sure.
But when you say phone, do you mean like a phone call like you gave to me Saturday, or do you mean like a FaceTime?
Both.
Okay. Because for me, and this, I'm going to relate this to work, I can't do a regular conference call anymore on the phone, on the normal phone.
I know, it is irritating. I agree.
It's irritating. I can't do it.
Interesting.
And it's weird. And now it's got to be a Zoom or something with the video call, or I just can't do it.
Is your video ever off when you're doing those calls?
No, my video is always on. I don't like when people put their video off. I find that off-putting.
But I would rather have a video call if most people are on, I'd rather do that than have my camera off for whatever reason than do a phone call. Like if I had to choose. Now doing where both cameras are off, that seems silly.
Yes.
But
ridiculous.
I don't know. It's just like anything, right? I'm used to texting more and calling now. Pretty soon I need to stare at a screen to have a phone call. Like what do I do on a phone? I just stare into space.
Every generation complains about the new stuff.
Yep.
And the generation after them that's going to ruin the good stuff, the generation of theirs and before. Every time.
So I'm not sure
and
what
every
there,
time.
but I think we both get the point.
You get the point. It was a tongue twister. But you get the point, and every time it's always fine.
That sounded like a Joe Biden speech.
And it all works out. That was.
That was just crazy.
That was fool me once.
You can edit by saying "Stay classy, San Diego."
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, I don't even have an Instagram account that has me at all.
By the way, I also wanted to take this time to announce to our listeners that FTS Friends Talking Shop is launching an Instagram account.
Except in that case.
That would be great. We should do that. We absolutely should do that.
We should do that.
Yeah.
We'll keep it ironic.
That's right. We'll have very limited ideas to put on there. That'd be fun.
We could be like Beyonce. Like Beyonce has like 12 million or 100 million followers or whatever, and she follows like one person.
That's funny.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you suffer from a crippling sense that your world is crumbling around you? Do the brief, fleeting moments of respite you cling to always seem to pass unregarded into the silent void? Do you wish you could spend time with thoughtful intellectuals who are similarly ignoring the dark, unwavering nothingness that creeps into your peripheral vision like some sort of stalking eldritch horror show? Well, that's too bad. Instead, why not listen to Man Bites Dog, a weekly podcast from Polite Company. Every week, hosts Michael Hill, Grant Hingeveld, and R. Case Hill dive into the weirdest news headlines from around the world in a game show that is often unfunny, inappropriate, and deeply weird. Man Bites Dog is available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Josh, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So I'm kind of on a remote location too, but not as remote as you, Dave. I am at my sister's house, and I got pulled into a last-minute barbecue here. So I said, "All right, we'll come, but I got to. I'm recording the podcast at your place." So that was the arrangement we made.
So what does a last-minute barbecue mean? It means that your brother-in-law
No, it just means look, I don't understand. Last minute and barbecue are all words that are pretty standard in the English language.
No, but don't you have to treat the meat or something overnight or
treat the meat? Sometimes you can do like burgers and dogs and just put it on. Some people have that at the ready and just be like, hey, why don't you come over? Because we're usually down at the beach and we can't this weekend because of COVID. So that killed that. And so so she said, hey, why don't you come over? Because we're going to be on vacation, and then she'll be on vacation, so we won't see each other for a little while. So we thought we'd do this last minute. So
she listens to the podcast, right?
She does religiously. She's one of our biggest fans.
Are we in front of a live audience right now?
We are not. So that's my nephews wanted to be on, and I'm like, let's not do that.
Not funny enough.
Yeah,
sorry.
We'll do some. Why don't you put together a tape for me, and then we'll I'll take a listen. And then we'll decide.
And then we'll delete it. Then we'll have a Zoom call.
Yeah, then we'll have a Zoom call. Exactly. But so we had this last minute barbecue. So I'm over here, and it's obviously always nice to see them.
Dave, do you think Josh does anything at barbecues? I think when Josh goes to a barbecue, he's there, he's conversing with people. He might go get plates, maybe. Other than that, he's eating and he's drinking. He makes some jokes, and then he leaves. I don't think he's doing cleanup or prep. Dave, what do you think?
Okay.
Josh is involved. Right.
Yeah, don't say. I'm guessing he'll be probably nice enough to bring something to add, but yeah, probably not much on cleanup.
Like a beer or wine, you mean? Something like that?
Yeah, it brings a 6-pack probably. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Josh.
Slams it on the table.
Okay. All right. So you guys are sort of.
He sits in the kiddie pool. Sits in the kiddie pool with the beer. Yeah. Tell us it's fat goalie jokes.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
You are sort of right, sort of wrong. I can't really tell.
And if it's God forbid, if it's Eagle season, where's the TV? Where's the TV?
Yeah, you can forget that. There's
that's true.
I will lose my mind if someone plans a scheduled event during an Eagles game. That's really rude.
Yeah.
It's
I have
rude.
to say, it's one of the things about you, Josh. There's a few things I really, really admire / am perplexed by, but how much of a discipline and conviction both of you guys in your sports team. You guys are so all in. You know all the players' names. You live and breathe it.
Yeah.
Just one team for me. I don't know. Do you go farther than one team?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
All four that you will if someone will schedule something over a Phillies game?
No. But if it's playoffs, if the Phillies are in the playoffs, which is rare these days, but if they are, then yeah, that's rude as well.
That's fair. Yep.
I mean, come on. I will tell you this. The whole reason that my wife and I got married in July was because none of the four sports are playing in July, and the Phillies are in the first half of the season. So it's not a pennant race yet.
We should have some type of a game show with my friends who are really big sports fans like you and Dave. But instead of the men who are the sports fans, we have the wives, and see how much they have learned through osmosis.
My wife is a big Eagles fan.
Is she really?
Oh yeah, and Sixers fan actually. She's she is. She watches every game.
So she knows the players and.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
have you ever seen your wife get into like a discussion about sports with somebody about players and strategy?
Her and I do. We get into discussions about more so the Eagles than anything else.
Wow.
So she had a battery. She'd throw it at Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
So,
she would never do. But she does hate Ben Simmons. So
okay.
She hated him long before I did. I was still supporting him when she hated him.
Dave, call me crazy, but I would love to call in Josh's wife and have her on for a little bit.
She wants to be on because she wants to defend the comments I made about her salad mostly, which is surprising. All the things I've said, and she's really pissed off most about the fact that I didn't call her salad a salad. So go figure.
That's what my wife did on the Gary Goldman story about putting my hand down. Yeah, somehow.
I told her.
Yeah.
Send an email. That's what it's for.
That's right. Don't call in. We don't want any phone calls.
There's no callers.
Text. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm at this barbecue. And I was going to talk about something else, by the way, but this literally just happened.
What did you bring to the barbecue?
We brought a salad.
Did you really?
Well, yes,
did you really?
Which sparked the conversation because then she made the salad. She goes, "Now you see, this is a salad." I'm like, yes, but what you made the other night was not a salad. That's my point. That was my point. What you made tonight, very much a salad. Very much a salad. Anyway, so this is I did have another topic. I'll save it, but this just happened literally about 2 hours ago. So I thought I'd throw it out there. But anyway, so we have dinner. We ate the barbecue, and then afterwards, my sister made or bought, or I don't know if she made it or bought it. Doesn't matter. Like this dessert, this like pudding cake dessert, right? And she goes, "All right."
Ice cream? Was there ice cream?
No. Just
when you make something like that, when you make pudding cake,
Omar, it was last minute.
You gotta bring ice cream.
Minute. It was last minute. If it was a planned barbecue, there would be ice cream.
But she made the cake?
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know if she made it or if it was. Did you hear what I said? I wasn't sure.
But Dave, when I get bread pudding or any kind of cake, I have to have vanilla ice cream.
First of all, bread pudding's gross. Who the hell?
I just have to say, when Omar questioned what's a last-minute barbecue, I figured there's no reason for that question, and he found a way to bring it back.
He kind of did.
He actually found a hole in the whole plan.
He did.
If you do last minute,
I feel like a fool.
Inadequate dessert. Yeah. I didn't think you could do it.
But anyway, so she says, "Okay, who wants the pudding cake?" And I do. Nah, I'm gonna pass. And everyone looked at me like I had 6 heads, right? Like I was some sort of alien that was just dropped on this planet. I go, you know what? I'm just not a huge dessert guy. I like some desserts. There's some instances where I have dessert and enjoy dessert. But for the most part, I'm an entree over dessert guy. And so I had this conversation. I said, wait a second. If you go to a restaurant, right, a nice restaurant, even a regular restaurant, just an ordinary, even a chain restaurant, whatever, I would rather, and I'm going to ask you too, would you rather have what I would rather have an appetizer and an entree with no dessert versus an entree and a dessert with no appetizer?
Oh, that's a great question.
So what's your choice there? Now, everyone in the room tonight said the opposite of what I said. They'd rather skip the appetizer and have the dessert. I would rather have an appetizer and an entree and skip dessert.
Well, I'll go first. I am 100% with you. I would always do the appetizer. There's so many good appetizers.
Yes.
That I would rather have. But as I think about the classic desserts, because I love candy bars, I certainly like
That's
ice
not a
cream.
dessert.
I know,
Candy
but
bars,
I like sweets. Yeah. I like chocolate. I like sweets. I like Rice Krispie treats. I like candy stuff. I really don't like desserts. I don't like cake. I don't like pie. I don't
I can't stand pie.
Torts and other things like that. It's sort of if it's chocolate cake, I'd rather have like a Snickers. Really, that to me is much better tasting than cake.
Snickers is satisfying. But here's the I'm gonna go a step further. Birthday cake, I'll say no every time. I could give two shits about birthday cake. Look, I hate birthday cake.
Look, I am known as the dictator of desserts, as many of you know.
Yeah.
One of your many nicknames.
When I am in restaurants, when I'm in restaurants, I order every dessert, and I have a huge sweet tooth, and I think desserts are the best way to learn about the essence of a restaurant in many ways. I go dessert first. I eat my earlier food based on leaving capacity for my desserts.
Interesting.
So if I had to pick entree over appetizers, though, I would choose appetizers because there's more.
No. It's appetizer or dessert. You're having an entree.
I wouldn't do the entree.
Oh,
I would do appetizers.
You're choosing column C.
Yes.
You're going to do an appetizer and a dessert with no entree.
Yeah. There's a lot of restaurants I know that have really good appetizers but not good entrees.
Yeah.
Many That's more true. than have mediocre appetizers and great entrees.
Okay.
So I always go with the appetizers.
So then my sister and her husband said they have dessert every night.
Do you every meal, every dinner?
Every dinner.
Do they make it? Or do they?
No, not necessarily. No,
just like ice cream.
I want to marry your sister if she could.
But you can't. But that for a few reasons.
Can you imagine how many times he'd call you then?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would have a lot of last-minute barbecues.
Yes, you would. But Omar, give me an idea. Seven dinners a week. How many of them are you having dessert afterwards?
Everyone.
See,
I order multiple desserts, if not all the desserts on the menu, and I order extra vanilla.
What about at home? You
always run out of vanilla ice cream. Oh, if I'm just here by myself and I'm at home, it's not often. That I feel a little sad when I do that.
You feel
sad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you see, I will have dessert once out of every 10 dinners, maybe. That's it.
I think that's right. Maybe. Well, does popcorn count? My wife will make popcorn like at 7 or 7:30, like if we're all watching shows. She'll I'm gonna make popcorn.
That counts.
All right, then I would say once every other week, maybe. Yeah.
There you go. So similar to me. Wow, I didn't think I'd have an ally here because I just got completely piled on at this barbecue for my views on this.
I mean, I love sweets.
If anything, you're the perfect partner because you won't eat my desserts.
There you go.
See, he wants to marry you. He doesn't want to marry your sister.
I think that might be it. Here's the other thing, and I need Omar's take on this. Omar, the other thing that goes a step further. Did you order another? So Omar just left, and he got another order of food. This is a guy who told us that he had horrible food poisoning on day-old sushi, where it was coming out of both ends for 6 hours. And he's ordered now 2 delivery orders, pizza, and I can't imagine what this is.
This is spinach and mushrooms as a side.
You have a Morton Steakhouse by your place?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Is it wrong?
No, I ordered chicken, but it's breaded chicken.
I don't think you know how gastrointestinal disorders work, my friend. I mean, this is not the stuff you should be eating afterwards. Anyway, so do you guys order? I know Dave's answer here already, but Omar, what about dessert after lunch? Because I've seen adults get that.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. That should be for kids
If
only.
I'm in a good
Once you reach
restaurant-
13, no more desserts after lunch.
If I'm in a good restaurant, like I'm gonna order dessert. If you know what, you know where I went for dinner the other night? Dave and Buster's.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but you didn't go for the food. You went. You went to play games.
Dinner. No, I went there to meet one of my dear friends and her 2 children, and who were
okay. So they played games.
But we had dinner, and I would not eat. I had one nacho with some chili on it or whatever. I'm like, I'm not eating this food. So those cheese nachos with like.
Yes, I'm familiar.
On there.
This is why you had problems. It might not have been the sushi.
Yeah, I don't think it was the sushi.
No.
The Dave and Buster's fare.
No, I only had like one chip, but I did have the dessert, and that actually was very good. If they have ice cream somewhere, I'm gonna pretty much order it because that's always solid.
Yeah, but that's dinner. I asked about lunch.
I'm for lunch too. 1,000%.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Don't you want to explore the menu? I mean, those taste.
But you don't need dinner. You don't need dessert after lunch. That is so excessive. It's why the terrorists hate us.
I've heard something the other day that certain ethnicities or from depending on where you're from, you have a much different reaction to alcohol. And with some people, alcohol based on where they're from, like Nordics and the like, they actually get serotonin and energy, and they can be wonderful and energized and creative and up the next day. And other people like me, I can't. With desserts, that's my thing.
That's where
my
you're going
brain
with this.
opens up. I just love it.
Wow. All right.
If dessert and Tom Cruise were hanging off a cliff, it's close. It's close.
Yeah, that's
what a Sophie's choice.
I think I heard Nathan Lane say the same thing.
Yeah, dessert for lunch is interesting. See, when I want dessert,
it's crazy.
Like if I go grocery shopping at 3 p.m. and I'm checking out and I can get a candy bar and I eat it there, that's when I love eating sweets. Like it's not after the meal. Like why would I eat a candy bar after I usually eat my appetizer and dinner to full. Like that's it. Like
yes,
I don't
I'm with
save
you.
room for dessert.
Yes, I'm
but
with
now
you.
what I have thought about doing, I should do it. What I thought about is buy dessert, since Omar's right, you're at the restaurant, why not explore the menu? Is order something and bring it home. Not sushi rolls, by the way, but dessert and bring it home.
By the way, marriage hack, right? If you bring dessert home to your wife from a nice restaurant every time, like she's gonna love you.
Yeah.
She's gonna love you.
That's
all right, that's one angle.
Now you tell me. Now, after 30 years. Now you tell me.
I guess that's
I think that's right. That's, especially if to work dinner, you come home, that's one way to save the evening. That's a good idea.
True. That's
if
good
I was your wife, I would want that over anything else, including flowers.
See, this is where this is coming from. Omar wants to marry you, Josh.
I think that's
all the clues are there.
Is all, yeah. I get calls on the weekends. This is all happening. It's happening too fast, quite honestly. I'm not ready for it.
All right. Well, it's an interesting. We can explore this more because now I think there's more to talk about in the dessert genre of why we don't like pies and things like that.
I do like pies. I'm gonna go back. I do. I want to clarify that. I love.
I don't.
So
like
the one meal I love dessert is Thanksgiving, which, by the way, we can talk about that at a later time. I think that meal is so overrated. It's ridiculous. But the pumpkin pie, phenomenal. I love pumpkin pie. Anyway.
You guys, think of it this way, okay? When you're having appetizers and entrees, of course they can be incredibly nuanced and layered in different textures and temperatures, and that's a wondrous experience. But you're literally missing like the desserts, which I would argue can unleash even more parts of your brain and your palate. This is like good restaurants, okay? Not at like.
I've had desserts at good restaurants, Omar, and it's not that I don't like to have that. I like cheesecake.
There are McDonald's.
There are certain desserts.
It's true. It is. It was a Frosty and the best milkshake, the best fast food milkshake. Do you know where it is? It is Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Oh, once again, right. Chick-fil-A knocks it out of the park, huh?
The cookie milkshake there is a 9.5 out of 10. It's also like 7,000 calories, but I don't think it's worth the calories.
But I will. My thing was more on the frequency of desserts. If I go to a nice restaurant and we're having I'll definitely have a
Do you guys not have
for the most
sweets
part
throughout the day? I mean, Dave.
No.
I think Snickers is one of our sponsors. Dave has mentioned Snickers so many times.
Well, and that was just actually that's not my favorite candy bar either. But I was just using it as a universal.
Oh, it's satisfying.
All right. So that's my topic. Since we're probably going late, is your favorite candy bar? I know we've talked about what you eat when you drive. But favorite candy bar, because I don't know if I have like movie. It's hard to come up with. I have certain candy bars that I eat in certain situations. I have refined my candy bar. Oh yeah.
You mean when you mean situations? You mean like it's evolved over time, or you mean situations throughout your life?
No, like depending on
circumstance,
what I'm doing. So
like if he's getting mugged, he reaches for a payday.
No, I reach for $100,000.
100 grand. That's right. But I'm bummed.
Oh yeah. So like for example, if it's at 3:00 or 4:00 and I'm grocery shopping and I'm really hungry, a Snickers is more filling. Like
because it's satisfying.
Yeah, that is actually true. Maybe it's advertising has done that too. But if I'm in an airport, I always, before I fly, I have a routine of
morphine, go to house.
Yeah.
It's a Twix laced with
tranquilizer.
Yeah. Yes.
No, Twix. I go with Twix on a
regular.
Yes, regular. I
agree. Regular.
I do have to hand it to a lot of candy bar companies right now. They are exploring the space in candy bars, right? And who's the winner right now in terms of the Taco Bell of candy bars, where they'll just try anything, is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. There must be 20 different versions of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups in the aisles right now. And that's what I go to where I'm not in an airport. I'm not super hungry. I just want something I really like. I get the extra big, extra wide cup, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. That's
wait. Are we really? This is a crazy topic.
Why is it crazy?
It's crazy because for me, like I'm a very simple man, okay? And when I have
you are
says that.
You're the least simple man I know.
When I have dessert at home,
you fell asleep with a gun.
Yeah, there's nothing simple about that.
That was romantic.
You had explosive diarrhea and vomiting today, and just wolfed down half a pizza.
I only had 3 slices.
There's nothing simple about that.
So my point is, like, my favorite dessert in the world. You asked me if you guys had asked me that. You never asked me, guys, anything about myself.
That's the whole podcast.
That's what podcast is about.
If you guys said, what is your favorite dessert? I would have an answer. And the answer is vanilla ice cream, okay? And then Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, okay? And I break, please, Joshua, let me finish, please. I break the cups. I put them and I sprinkle it on the ice cream. I put the ice cream in the microwave for 15 to 20 seconds, depending on the strength of the microwave. And at that point, it's melted just a little bit. And that peanut butter and chocolate with vanilla is gorgeous. However, there's a flaw in that. And the biggest flaw in that is the peanut butter cups. In the sense that when you get fresh ones, they are magnificent. And the peanut butter has that wonderful like texture. It's like fresh out of a can. But if you get the ones where the cups, you break them and they're flaky, I can't have that. I can't have it. And it happens
how can you determine? So if they're fresh from the factory?
No, I don't know what it is. When you get yours, when you start eating them, break them open. Some will be very, very like
gooey.
It's how long they've been on the shelf.
Yeah, and the other ones are like flaky, but you can't tell. But Josh said, no, it's not that. Because I did some regression analysis on it. I don't even know what to put together, but I did something involving numbers.
Words.
Okay.
So when Dave does the intro on the podcast and describes it, he does not say each of us bring a topic which the other can ignore completely and give his own answer for a question that they wished he had asked. Which is what you just did. His topic is about candy bars.
And complain that we never ask him any questions.
No,
he just asked a question and he answered
He just hijacked it and changed it to what you wanted.
No, he's talking about peanut butter cups. And
nope.
I'm telling.
Okay, but that's where you should have gone. You should have, speaking of peanut butter cups and your favorite candy bar, here's what I do with mine.
That more when I brought it up.
What you said was, F you, Dave. I don't like your question. I'm going to spin it right in my wheelhouse. What's your favorite dessert?
I hung on to it too long.
Yeah.
I hung on the rim. I'm sorry.
You did. You hung on the rim.
Well, we're learning every day.
Yeah.
You're lucky Dave didn't tee you up for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That is interesting. Omar is not great at segues, right?
He's very bad at segues.
You will say like,
no.
We'll be talking. Suck. I was just thinking, just in our, ever since I've known you, we'll be talking about work, and you'll say like,
non sequiturs.
Do you think the Detroit Pistons are going to draft so on? Like, it's just out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
And that can be endearing, but I just can't.
I called it topic Tourette's. That's what.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but
it just comes out. That's fine.
I always say if we could reach one person, and if we could teach Omar the art of segue, that would maybe
the segue. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
they all can't be winners.
So let me go back to you, Omar. So is Reese's peanut butter cups your favorite candy bar? We'll call it a candy bar, even though it's not. But if
it's gooey, yes.
Okay.
But the volatility is so high. It's like I feel like Indiana Jones. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow. I've never had a bad. I love Reese's. I've never had a bad peanut butter cup.
I promise you will notice now. And when you have one that's actually gooey, please send me a picture. I just love it. It's beautiful.
Well, if I post it on Instagram, you won't see it.
For 2 days. 2 days from now, you will.
2 days.
You guys have never noticed that though, about the peanut butter cups?
No.
Never.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about candy bars are always consistent.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. If you get dessert at a restaurant, you can
promise you.
I'm still eating my Halloween candy from 1987.
If I sent you each like a box of like 3 different packs of peanut butter cups, they would all taste different. You would notice.
Interesting.
All right. I wish you would. Yeah. Let's experiment.
Yeah, let's experiment with that.
How about once a week for 3 years, send us 3 packages.
There you go.
You know what? I'm gonna start doing branded nail polish. And for my
topic Tourette's.
No. My point is, I should do branded peanut butter cups. That'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
There's your tie-in. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of peanut butter cups, it was twice you could have said speaking of peanut cups.
Yes.
So Josh, what was your favorite?
So my favorite's one that you can't find. It's very hard to find, but I love the whatchamacallit bar.
The whatchamacallit, yeah, that came up before.
Yeah. And it's so hard to find. It's not typically on shelves with other candy bars.
It's here in Wisconsin. I found it and I sent a picture one time.
Yes.
But I one time I ate a whatchamacallit. I remember it was on New Year's Eve when I was a kid, and I got sick, and I've never eaten it since.
Oh, that's right. I remember you told me that a long time ago. I remember that just brought back that memory.
This is what's going to happen with this podcast, which is what happens to us in real life. That's so stories come back around, and we tell them the second time.
Yeah, but it's a good one. It was just as good that time as it was the first time.
It'll come up again and again.
Did they ever make like baby whatchamacallits or not?
Like, no. See, that's the greatest
Halloween
thing about the whatchamacallits. The best thing about the whatchamacallits, it always stayed the same size. There was no super-sized whatchamacallit. There was no mini whatchamacallit. There was
no other versions of it.
Are you sure? It's almost like they ordered too much when they started the company, and now they're like, shit, we got to get rid of all these whatchamacallits. And now it's 40 years later, and they still can't make a variation. But whatchamacallits, no one even gives them out on Halloween. You never even see that either.
No, did you? I just looked it up.
Is there variations?
Wikipedia. I didn't see, but in 2009, Hershey's announced the Thingamajig.
What the hell?
Featuring it's another candy bar featuring chocolate, cocoa crisps, and peanut butter inside. Then in 2021, Hershey's unveiled a new candy bar called the Who's What's It.
I mean, come on, what are you doing here, Hershey's? You're playing around. You had it perfected with the whatchamacallit. It was perfected.
I was questioning that they never did any variation from the whatchamacallit is a thingamajig and a Who's What's It.
Yeah, I'm not calling those variations. I'm calling those new candy bars.
Yeah.
It's under the whatchamacallit Wikipedia page. I think those are versions. And you would think you'd like it, wouldn't you? Aren't you excited to try the thingamajig or the Who's It?
I just don't eat them that much anymore anyway. I mean, because the peanut butter. So it's like my kid is allergic to peanuts, so I have to pick my points when I can actually eat those.
How did you find that out? When he was a baby?
Yeah, when he was real young.
So okay. So let's take a step back for a second, Dave. So at that moment, the mother's closer to the baby than the father is for the first
Why?
Right? Because the mother gives birth.
Oh yeah, that's true. The mother does give birth.
There's like a month or 3 months.
I forgot about that part.
Forgot about that one. Yeah.
If you
minor detail.
If you look at studies, men typically don't feel the connection with their child until like 3 + 6 months into the birth. It's true. You can look it up.
Who's studying that?
My point is,
People.
was there ever a moment
Scientists.
early on when you found out about the peanut butter thing that you're like, I really like peanut butter, like, or was it always like no peanut butter? I have my son.
Well, no, it could be both. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is one of my favorite things because I do love peanut butter, but we've given it up. I mean, it's not in our house at all.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that
it's not in our house?
Okay, you David, he's missing my point.
I chose not to kill my son. Is that what you want to hear?
Yeah, it's that. So if Josh had to choose, unlike Tom Cruise and a peanut butter cup, Josh chose his son.
Yeah, I chose not to destroy my son's life for food.
Now, if your son was Tom Cruise, which is, he probably still.
If my son was Tom Cruise, different story.
Yeah, it's still your son. Yeah.
How about your son and Tom Cruise? So I eat peanut butter whenever I travel. I purposely eat peanut butter whenever I travel.
And David, do you think it's candy bars or do you think it's a jar of Jiffy?
I don't.
Josh, I've never seen you.
I'll believe anything he says next.
Eat this peanut butter.
So most of the time, when I go to the airport, the Philadelphia airport, they have a pink berry there in the one terminal. And I always get like a peanut butter type of related smoothie because I want peanut butter banana usually because I love that combination so much. Peanut butter banana. Oh, what a great combination that is.
Oh, you and Elvis.
Dave.
Does Elvis love that?
Was it a peanut butter banana sandwiches? That was his thing, right?
And both of us spent a lot of time on the toilet.
That's really
well, now you can see what the end of your life's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Am I going to be wearing one-piece jumpsuits?
Yeah, dying on the
Josh knows his airport routine.
Yeah.
I do. I do know my airport routine. Pinkberry. Got to have it. That's
one time I had like 2 hours to kill in the Philly airport, Dave, and I asked Josh, where should I go? And he had like a place for me to go. And I went one terminal over. I think it was a steak place, Josh.
Yeah, they have. Yes, there's a decent Tony Luke's.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's better where it's original place, but it's good for airplane.
And why is airport food so much worse? Like, why is that always the case? Why is it never as good as it is like in their main location for any kind of food? Right?
That's a really good question. I
wonder why that is.
Maybe supplies. Maybe they're using inferior. But that makes no sense. That you think they want to keep the quality control.
I think I've been at a couple of airports where the food was pretty good, but usually it's a Chili's too, and so I'm not noticing if Chili's too is better than Chili's.
They do put the 2 on there just as a legal disclaimer. It's not Chili's.
Yeah, right.
It's Chili's the sequel, and everyone knows sequels are worse than the original.
Well, what do you say we wrap this one up?
I think
we could have gone on. There are a lot of tangents that we could have gone on and gone further, but let's save it for. Wait for it, episode 20.
Whoa.
Big 20.
Awesome.
That'll be our next episode. Maybe we'll do something special. So on behalf of Omar and Josh, we'll say goodbye and hope to see you next time. See you, everybody.
See ya.
Smell you later.